Hey, thanks for clicking on this video. My name is Zaji, and today I want to talk to you a little bit about my sewing plans. So this is a sewing video, and I want to talk to you about what I'm planning on making in December. This is something that I have been talking about a lot, is that I want to make more warm clothes. So if you want to see some warm clothing ideas, winter wear ideas, and see what I'm getting up to this month, then I encourage you to subscribe and continue watching. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. The first thing that I want to talk about is a coat. And I am really torn for what coat I want to make with the fabric that I have in front of me. So I'm going to show you the fabric first, and then I'm going to show you the two patterns that I am considering for this fabric. The first fabric is this gray wool coating. I know it's not 100% wool, it's part polyester, but it is extremely heavyweight. I think it's about 500 grams per square meter. My God, like heavy. This is heavy. I've never made a coat this heavy before, and I'm very excited, and I want to make something that I will really love. And I know that whatever I make will be super snuggly, super warm, but I don't know what coat I want to make. I'm torn because I want to make the Sapporo coat, and I'll put that up if you've not seen it before. And it's a cocoon style coat. It's got really cool inline or inseam like pockets in the front. God, it is such a cool coat. It's so cool. And I've seen a lot of really amazing versions, and I've also seen a ton of gray versions, which I'm just like, my goodness. But I've never had a gray coat before, so whatever I make will be the first for me, and that's what's really important here. So I am torn. I don't know. It's between this or another coat that I have from Butterick, and this is Butterick 6385. And I would really love to make version B of this coat. I think it would just be so chic. And not only that, I feel like it would suit my style more than the Sapporo coat necessarily does. I don't know. I just feel like I'm not going to love the Sapporo coat as much on me, just because it doesn't really suit the lines that most of my clothing really kind of flow with. Like if I'm wearing pants, obviously that's not a huge deal, but I do plan on wearing lots of full skirts, lots of long dresses, and I just don't know that the Sapporo coat necessarily will have the right look for what I'm trying to build in my wardrobe. But I do love all of the design features on it, so I'm torn between that coat or this coat. I don't know. I don't know just yet, but I do know that I want to make a coat soon because it is starting to get cold. And I know that I am going to be using this plaid. Oh my God. I don't know why this makes me so happy. You all, like in the summer, I just want all the florals, but in the winter and fall time, I just want all the plaids. So you've seen a lot of plaid on my channel so far. And checks and plaid, but this is a rayon from Joann's. I got this earlier this year. I'm not sure if they still sell this fabric, but if they do, I will link it down below for you. I will link the coating that I just talked about down below as well if you're interested in snagging some of this super heavyweight fabric. It's also pretty inexpensive from Minerva.com. The new site that's got all the pretties, and you can see exactly what it looks like there. I think those will be so fun together. Oh my God, this is so heavy. My arms are not strong enough for this. That's a good mix, right? Oh my God, I love. Okay, so the next coat that I'm going to make, I know, what, 2 coats? I'm going to try to do both. Why not, you know? I'm someone who likes to shoot for the stars, you know, because if I plan to make it, then it's more likely that I will make it as opposed to not planning and not knowing what I'm going to be making. So I plan to make a lot of things, and I'm going to plan to make 2 coats because I like to be able to switch it up. Maybe I don't want to wear gray. Maybe I want something a little bit more fun. And maybe it's also plaid. Oh my god, I have a problem. Okay. So this is the fabric. This is a woven fabric, not just like actual woven, like non-knit, but it is somewhat like a blanket weave. I don't know how else to describe that, but it is very much so like a blanket. I imagine that I could probably just finish the raw edges of this fabric and have a really wonderful blanket, but why not wear the blanket? I know that's a common theme apparently from the past, in the past plans video that I put up. I also said I wanted a blanket, but that was for the cardigan, which I do have a review up for, and I'll link that if you want to see the other blanket-y clothing that I've made. But this I want to make into JK. This is another Butterick coat pattern. I had no idea that. Interesting. Anyway, so this is another Butterick pattern. I gotta get the envelope out to see what the actual number. B6720 from Butterick, and I plan on making version A, which is slightly above the knee. I think I have enough fabric to make A. I know I have enough fabric to make A, but I'm not sure if I'd have enough fabric to make B because I think I only have 3 yards of this. So I'm gonna go for A. I'm not gonna do the fur on the cuff, but I am considering using the reverse of this fabric, so the wrong side, because it has an interesting reverse plaid to the front side. I don't know if this is oh my gosh, I don't know what the pattern would be called for this, like what the style of this is. But I think that might be fun as the cuffs on this pattern, but I don't know if it will really read or translate the same way that I think it will. But this will be a much lighter weight coat to the gray coat for sure. And I know for a fact that I'm just going to be using a plain red lining on the inside of this, which I do have. I'm just not going to grab it because it's just plain red acetate lining. And I love red coats. I've made my daughter a red coat from an old red coat that I had, and it is the predecessor to the puffer jacket that I made for my daughter recently. But I think this is going to be really, really nice. I'm really looking forward to having a coat like this. It'll be really great to layer. It won't be something that I'll be wearing when it's really, really cold outside, like when it's 10 or 7 degrees. Ooh, probably won't be this coat. I know this coat will be warm, but I just don't think it'll be that warm. But I do want a coat that's kind of in the middle, that's still quite fashionable, but not as utilitarian looking as my anorak is, which I feel like I've mentioned in every video I've made recently. But I love that anorak. I do. But I do feel like this will be so beautiful as a coat. Next, I'm going to talk about a pattern that isn't a Butterick pattern in this video, and it's going to be some Pietra pants. Pietra pants? Pietra. Oh, I don't know how to pronounce it, but I will put the name on the screen and I'll put a picture up so you can see. From Closet Core Patterns, as they are called now. I've had this pattern for, oh my gosh, probably a year or so, and I've never made it because I don't wear separates. I don't wear separates, and that's something that you'll hear me say a lot, and I'm trying to change that by incorporating other designs into my wardrobe and making more separates. So I'm going to make some pants, and I'm going to make them with a very special fabric. If you haven't seen my Melanated Fabrics review, this is the Lyocell Twill. that I purchased from them in the shade Tobacco. I will link it down below. I'm not sure if it will be back in stock by the time that I post this video, but if it is, I hope that you're able to snag some because it is beautiful. And I plan on making some beautiful Petra. But I think these will be really nice for that because they have that little bit of flow to them, and those pants I think are designed to work with lighter weight fabrics because it does have a really large elasticated section in the back, which I think would look really bulky if you used a fabric that was heavy weight and stiff. So I think this will be perfect for that, and I'm hoping I have enough to maybe get something out for my daughter as well. Who knows? And still sticking with the pants theme, and I guess also the Mimi G theme, I'm going to be making a pair of pants that was a collaboration from Mimi G and Simplicity, or is Mimi G style for Simplicity? I don't know how you say that. But I am going to be making her pattern 8655 version C because they are cute AF. And like, wow, Mimi. When was this pattern produced? Okay, so this pattern came out in 2018, and I did make another pattern, I think, that came out that year from her. Oh my gosh, and I'll put it up here. I recently refashioned the pants into shorts. And I was just kind of like, Mimi G's just way more like trendy style than I typically feel like suits me. And even though it fits, it doesn't necessarily mean it's for me. But I think these pants, because they're kind of retro themed, that classic kind of 70s pant, I think they'll look absolutely amazing in the stretch corduroy I got in olive. And this corduroy has just enough stretch to meet the pattern's requirements. And I think it'll be really beautiful to wear into even the springtime and fall time. I don't know how well this pattern will work or how well this corduroy will keep me warm when it starts to get real cold, like real cold. But I'm going to make these because I think they're very cute, and they're going to be very cute. That's it. That's all. The next project that I'm going to get into, speaking of separates, is not is not separates. Are not separates? Whatever. I'm not making separates with this fabric I'm about to show you. I'm 100% making a dress because I am hoping I'll be able to wear it year round. And I'm going to be using this fabric from Lady McElroy. This is Peacock Regala in chestnut. And can you see the details of the peacocks on here? They are the most Zaji colored peacocks I've ever seen. They have green and orange and brown, and I just am obsessed. Those are all of my favorite colors to wear, and I've never seen a peacock colored this way. It even has, like, some of the birds have a little bit of like a teal kind of shade in their feathers. Everything that I love about color. Yeah. It's got all the florals, which is right up my street. It's got all of the colors that I love. The flowers, some of them are like peachy shades. There's a lot of orange, a lot of warmth. Just everything I love about color is in this fabric. So I am going to be making a dress, and hopefully the dress that I make will be something that I can wear year round. Fingers crossed. I think it will be, just because this is a viscose base. I think it's a stretch viscose. I'm going to be making Mccall's, I have the pattern all in the frame, Mccall's 8083, which is a dress pattern that I'm pretty sure came out this year, maybe earlier this year. I'm going to be making version B's bodice with version C's skirt. I think I have enough. enough to make version C skirt, I will make version C skirt. If not, I will make version B skirt. Typically, these patterns require or recommend that you purchase a lot more fabric than you actually end up using. And I'm someone who doesn't really cut on the fold or use their cutting directions. I cut my fabric on a single layer so that I can get the most out of my fabrics, because oftentimes I'm able to have enough fabric left over to make something for my daughter as well. And what would make me happier than my daughter and I twinning so hard with this fabric? I don't know, but I'm gonna try to cut this out so that I can also make something for her. But this is such a beautiful fabric. The birds are just so pretty. I'm gonna stop talking. We get it, Zaji. Oh my God. Okay. I'm going to tell you about two more things, and one of them is my thing, and the other thing is going to be, or the other is going to be for my husband. So the next thing I want to talk about is a shirt, and I talked about this also in my Melanated Fabrics haul, and it is Simplicity S8983. I want to make version D, which is the top, and it's just a really beautiful, honestly, they say version D is a dress, and I'm just confused. I can't imagine that that's going to be a dress for me because it's 26 inches long. I just cannot imagine how that would be a dress on me. So I think it is more so a tunic, a top. And at 26 inches, it would probably just skim right under my bum. But anyway, I love the sleeve options on that pattern. I love the kind of gathered but still fluty sleeve situation. And I'm going to make it with exactly the same fabric I was talking about in that. And that is this beautiful rayon, what was it called? Mojito slub. Yes, Mojito slub. And this is in the olive colorway. I think they sold out of this shade, but if they have restocked, I will go ahead and link it down below. Even if they haven't restocked, I'm still going to link it just in case you want to see more details about this fabric, and maybe you find a different shade of this fabric that you also enjoy. But I want to make this top because I think it will be a top, again, that I will be able to wear year round, especially with rayon. It's something that does perform pretty well, in my opinion, year round, because it's pretty easy to layer a long sleeve shirt underneath, or a cami or a tank or something, just to boost the warmth factor in this top. But also in the summertime or springtime, wearing it without a top underneath it will make it be really breezy. And I love the fact that this looks a little bit like linen, and I think I mentioned that in the Melanated Fabrics haul, but it does have that kind of like textured look. The slub, I think, is what makes it like that linen-y kind of texture, but it's going to be a beautiful top. Now, the last thing I'm going to talk about are the things that I'm planning on making for my husband. So I also talked about this in my Melanated Fabrics video, and I definitely have solidly decided on this as well. I'm going to be making a couple of Raglan tops for my husband, one of which I'm going to do a Henley on, or a Henley opening on. I'm not so sure about the other ones, but he finally decided he, was like, oh, that's a great idea. I definitely want something like that. And I was like, okay, baby, I'll make you whatever you want. Because I don't want to question him and him be indecisive and change up his mind again. This is what we picked. So that's where I'm going to leave it. So the one I'm going to be making into a Henley, I've already talked about in length. And it's this Paradox knit in denim. Gonna be using that. I now have washed this fabric and it's gotten even softer, which you all don't even understand. This fabric is real soft. And he saw it and was like, yeah, I want that. So I've already talked about that. If you want to see more information about that fabric, you can check out my Melanated Fabrics review, and that goes into more depth about it. I'm going to also be making him one, let me see, this is the selvage. So it's a horizontal stripe. Just like a light gray and a charcoal gray. This is a very lightweight sweater knit fabric. And it's not going to provide a ton of warmth for him, but I know that that's not always what my husband's looking for because he runs really hot. So he doesn't love really thick sweaters in general. And the last version I know I'm going to make is in this red and white stripe. And this is a French terry. With this French terry, I'm hoping to cut out carefully and be able to get enough to make a sweater also for my daughter. So she will probably also get some of this too. I'm not sure what I want to make for her. It's really going to depend on what is left over after I cut out his top. So let me get my stack together. Wow, this stack got really tall really fast. If you know anything about me or about this space, you know that I am always sewing, and I very well could get through this whole stack, but you'll have to stay tuned and subscribe to see if I actually do end up making all of these things in December. Let me know down below if you have any sewing plans already in place for December and what you're going to be getting up to this holiday season down in the comment section below. And yeah, that's really all I have for you today. Thanks so much for watching. Have a good one. Bye-bye.